It wasn't until the late 70s where Stanton Friedman, who we call the father of Roswell, pretty much broke the case open. So basically, since 47 to the late 70s, other than the people that were involved with it, no one really talked about it. When we were out there in 2002, we were approached by the museum there in Roswell, the UFO museum. They were looking for volunteers to do this archaeology dig at the debris site. It was run by the University of New Mexico under Dr. Bill Doman, PhD archaeologist. He allowed us to do a strip dig in a particular area where I kind of wanted to do a strip dig, where water was pooling over a period of 60 years just due to erosion. I'm guessing that over a period of years, if there's still debris there, then Mother Nature is going to take whatever was left on the topsoil, pull it to an area where natural erosion would set in, and that's where we're going to dig. And as it turns out, we did 3 1-by-5 meter strip digs, and we yielded the most artifacts out of the whole 5 days, and that's in the Roswell Dig Diaries book. And then out of that strip dig, we found some artifacts. The museum wasn't funding any of the analysis, so basically it wasn't until 2008 I got a hold of one of the pieces that my sister and I found, which looked metallic, actually something that the eyewitnesses had described back in 47. So I acquired that back in 2008, and I personally paid and had two separate times electron scanning microscope analysis done on it, and the piece turned out to be aluminum with silicon. And we don't know whether that's aluminum silicon alloy or it's aluminum with silicon traces in it, but it's definitely a piece of aluminum that we found under 8 centimeters worth of dirt. That's an artifact, and that's not supposed to be out there in the middle of the desert. Out of all the other artifacts that were found there, material like a green fiber type of material, threads, like possibly it could have came off of a military uniform, pieces of a rubber sole that could have came off of army boots. Nothing new. I mean, this is stuff that was found under 6, 8, 10 centimeters worth of dirt, so it's been there for a while. And then some orange material that the archaeologists actually found a week before we showed up. What we did earlier this year, though, being 2009, we did a press release out of Roswell on April 30th on the materials that we found in 2002, and basically we're looking for any outside lab to pro bono, basically, analyze all this stuff for free, and then they get bragging rights after that. This year, my sister and I had the honor of taking Jesse Marcel Jr., who was an actual eyewitness to the debris back in 47. His father stopped on the way home on the way to Roswell Army Air Force Base to deliver it. We had the opportunity of actually taking his son out to the debris field so he could examine the site where his father actually picked up the material. We had known about Jesse Marcel Jr. and we had seen him in the past, and in the past few years we became just associated with just friends. But it was really an honor for us to take him out there. And we took Maurizio, and he's involved with Open Minds out of Tempe, Arizona. And we took him to the debris area. We showed him where we did the digs in 2002 and in 2006. And what was really interesting about taking these people out was watching them, observing them at the debris site for the first time.
You can observe from above when you're flying, and you have the feeling that the extension of this desert, which is not desert at all, it is almost insane with no people around. But then when you are there, you're just walking on this ground, and you feel that if one place was possibly interesting for the aliens, the ETs, to come down many years ago, this was the place. Probably they weren't expected, or it's the opposite. They were not expecting to be caught in the net of the military, the American military. When we arrived here today, the sensation I had was that the place is right. The place is right because all the accounts are telling us that it was like, let's say, not too tall slopes, little hills where they probably were hidden, that their machine, if one arrived here, probably from behind me, and did landed, but then again, and it went on space, not on space, on the air again, in the air again. I believe that this is a place where the debris were found.
But I noticed Jesse Marcel Jr., he was very somber, he was, very, very quiet, just kind of looking at it all. And I felt that he was really trying to make a connection between what had happened when he was a child and some of the things that he saw, and then some of the events that occurred since then up to the point of 2009 when we took him out there. Because a lot's happened to Jesse Marcel over the book that he wrote and the lectures that he's done. Here he talks about this material that he found. That's the basis of his lectures, and this is the first time he got to go to a site where supposedly this debris came from. And it was quite a moving moment to see him out there, just very peaceful and almost as if he was just becoming at one with the land.
It is very difficult to understand, but I have the feeling that this is a place where something probably happened. It's just my gut feeling after 25 years of investigation, like armchair studies, which is nothing compared to the sensation, the real feeling of being there. After that very brave and intelligent researchers were giving their best in order to understand if this was the right place. I was writing articles. I'm a stupid journalist. They are real researchers. I don't consider myself on their same level. This is my point, It's a question of heart. Where your heart goes. And that's why I moved from Italy. And I believe that since also my father moved from Italy when he was only 6 years old in 1902, that's my destiny.
I would like to think, at least I'll know what happened at Roswell within my lifetime. You have all these different stories, but the bottom line is we've found evidence that something came down, so we know we're in the right area. That's half the battle right there. And the other half is trying to understand, okay, what came down, and that's why we keep going into trying to find more evidence and trying to talk to more eyewitnesses.